Good morning, good morning, do 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 do. Good morning to you. Good morning, welcome to a daily dose of joy. We are here to dose our brains on the fly in solidarity together to pump up the baseline of positive neurotransmitters in our brain: dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins. It can make all the difference in the world to the way we feel joy and clarity and peace throughout our day. So today I am back in hot Atlanta, ATL, and as much as I love Colorado, I also love home. I love living in this city in the forest. And I thought I'd do a little more outside since it's summer, and I walked down to this garden in my neighborhood, and the things that are so beautiful to treasure and celebrate being here is, I don't know if you can hear them, but the cicadas. It's this, I think they're only in really warm environments, but they're an insect that rub their legs together and make this like symphonic sound that rises and falls and rises and falls. And it's super soothing to me. And the other things are that, like, feeling the gentle breeze. It's always a kind of warm breeze through here, and as opposed to being the briskness of being bundled up in Colorado in the mornings. And then the biggest thing that I celebrate and treasure every time I come home is our trees. There are 10-story oak trees over my head. I mean, they're huge. They're like our little mountains. I mean, they're so big, and they're everywhere. Just really, really big trees. That's why Atlanta's called the city in the forest. It was built in a forest, and it is full of huge old growth trees, especially in some of the in-town neighborhoods, like where I live. They're just majestic and comforting, and so you're under their deep protective shade. Like, there's one that covers almost my whole house, which helps keep the air conditioning not as needed, because it's always shady under there in the summer when the leaves leaf out, and then the leaves fall in the winter, and it helps my house stay warm. I mean, amazing. So just celebrating also my capacity to be happy and present wherever I am. That I went out on my walk and I had a moment of, I'm not gonna hike up that trail or forge that creek, today in this neighborhood. And it's these sweeter, subtle things I'm putting myself in the way of. There's a quote from the book Wild. It says, "Put yourself in the way of beauty." And there's availability to put ourselves in the way of beauty every day. Every day. And so it opened up some opportunities for me today. So thank you for letting me share how much I'm treasuring being home. And I welcome you into this slightly sultry summer morning in the South. And we're gonna do a Whoopsie Daisy tool today. Coming home yesterday was a full day of airplane travel, and it was a great opportunity to run into people and strike up conversations. And one of them was with a little girl who sat down next to me. It was like, I just got off a plane and it didn't have brakes. And her mom looked a little flustered. Everybody looked a little flustered. They were kind of boarding at the last minute. And I'm like, oh, tell me. So she went into a very elaborate story about how the plane she was on couldn't stop. And so, it would just go all the way through the runway, through the terminal, just go and go and go. And she had like these wide eyes and was telling me this story. And I looked at the mom, and then by the time the mom sits down, I've heard this whole tale. And she says, Yeah, we were on a plane that hadn't left the gate, that was having some problems with the brakes. And when I explained to her what brakes were, it birthed this story. And she was like, sorry, because there were other people around who was like, what happened? What's going on? You know? And so I pipe in, I'm like, whoopsie daisy, which got a little giggle from the mom and the other passengers. And we moved on. But it was, because some people are a little edgy. Airplanes are one of my happy places. So it means I'm traveling, I'm going somewhere. But, some of the people were looking a little more alarmed. And so it really helped have somebody put, oh, whoopsie daisy, just a little kid misunderstanding. Yeah, there's a plane out there, a rogue plane that can't stop. Anyway, it made me think of other, kids say the darndest things type whoopsie daisy stories. And my friend told me one the other day that it just happened to her sister. And they live in Australia and had been out on an outing with her daughter, mom and daughter out in the car, stopped at a gas station, asked the daughter if she wanted anything. Daughter was good, but she went in and got a bottle of water, and they sat in the car for a minute while she was drinking her water, and then they head on down the road. And it's getting a little late in the day. She's maybe going a little too fast, so she gets pulled over. Mom gets pulled over, and the policeman's asking her some questions and telling her she'd been driving too fast, and then says, ma'am, have you been drinking? And she says, no, officer. And the little girl chips in from the back seat, Mom, you have been drinking. She said her sister's heart just went, ugh. And the police officer asked the little girl, tell me more, So it comes to bear that, yes, she had been drinking a bottle of water at the gas station a mile back. And it's sort of like, whoopsie daisy, where are you going to go from there? Like, yeah, I have been drinking water. So, whoopsie daisy. And, it's already a story that's made it across the ponds. And for a good laugh, sometimes a little discomfort, it's not so bad. It's nice to sort of be able to reframe things. And that's why we tell whoopsie daisies, and we pass them around to each other. And they help us when it's our moment of embarrassment or discomfort or awkwardness or startled. One of my favorite examples is when you're walking down the stairs and you think that you have gotten to the bottom of the stairs and there's actually one more step. That's sort of like, woo! You got to re-get your balance. That life has some of those just moments, those whoopsie daisies. And the more we wire in our reflex capacity to reframe and laugh at ourselves, laugh at the situation, the easier it is for us to keep that positive dose chemistry going in our brain, because we're decreasing the can chemistry, cortisol, adrenaline, norepinephrine. So give it a try. Find some places, even if you do it retroactively, right? That you think later, oh, I could have laughed about that. And tell it to yourself or tell it to a friend, and just reach for a little bit of laughter. Incrementally over time, you'll be laughing like popcorn at the strangest things. Y'all, thank you. Let's take 3 gentle breaths to celebrate that we have paused in our day to microdose our brain. Thank you for being here with me. May today surprise and delight